Welcome, welcome, welcome to Man Minutes. I am your host, Brother Daniel, and thank you so much for joining me today. And I truly mean that. I mean, my goodness, if it wasn't for you, what would be the point of Man Minutes? Well, I'm not going to lie, I get something out of it too. I mean, you know what they say? If you ever really want to study and know a subject, well, teach it. So I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity of studying the Word of God with you, though, and I truly mean that. I mean, you could be anywhere. The World Wide Web is a big place. Social media is a big place, but you're here with me. So thank you, and let's get right to the points today, because I know you're ready to do this thing, and we got another fun little video clip here for you to start out Proverbs. So here you go. Here she comes. Oh. 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 Hey, sup? Thought you said you were going to mow the grass today. Day's not over. Oh. A Man a Minute with Daniel Earl. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are sluggards to those who send them. Proverbs 10:26. Frustrating, irritating, aggravating, and downright angering. And we've all been on both sides of the coin, right? We've been the giver and the receiver. Solomon reminds us today that our diligence not only affects our productivity, but also our interpersonal relationships. So, do the right thing by yourself and everyone else by being diligent. Yeah, there we go. Woo-wee! So much of that video, I know, has got to be so relatable. Now, before you just start randomly tagging people who have disappointed you with their lack of enthusiasm in projects, yeah, maybe think a more roundabout way of approaching it. It's like, hey, I thought this was funny. It kind of reminds me of me and you. But I'm sorry. That one sincerely tickled me because that sounds like something I would do. Anyhow, yeah, so that verse is vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are sluggards to those who send them. And we all understand this. Boy, especially if you have ever had to supervise a project. And listen, that goes for anything. If you had to organize something at your church, or you're a team leader at work, or man, if you own your own business, oh wow. How much of a challenge that's going to be. And so we could look at it from the top down, but then looking at it from the bottom up. I mean, some of us have worked for people who, boy, it seems like you show up and you're ready to work, and the boss is the one who just isn't driving the projects along and isn't allowing things to develop, and is kind of dragging his feet a little bit. And those types of things can be so frustrating. But Solomon is going to hammer home this whole thing of diligence. And I know I've shared with you, I'm reading a lot of materials right now, listening to a lot of materials. It's a life pattern of mine that I've been doing for some time. And the interesting thing is that these truths seem to be self-evident. I don't know if that sounds familiar. Even that phraseology sounds familiar. They seem to be self-evident in the fact that they continue to resurge and continue to come back up. And so let's think about that for just a little bit. I know it's Sunday, so don't take any of this like too aggressively on a Sunday. It's kind of ironic that it sits on a Sunday. But when we think about our productivity, and so let's think, like tomorrow, when we get started on some things and really want to move forward with some projects. Number one is get started. This is so much of a challenge for me because, man, I can overthink it. There's this sense in my brain where I've got to have all the details worked out. And it's like you come up with a good plan, right? And for every time you come up with a good plan, somebody will rush up and say, I can tell you 10 reasons why that won't work. And see, they're an overachiever because really all you need is one. You just need one reason why something won't work, but they've got 10. I mean, And if we worked half as hard in the affirmative and in the positive as we did in the negative, how much further along would we be? And sometimes it's just about setting the prime, right? Like if there are things I know that I need to do tomorrow, because my brain is one of those that doesn't like to rest as long as there's a project in front of me. So what I've learned is put some of the pieces in my path. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It makes a lot of sense to me. Whereas if I know I have a project I need to do tomorrow, oh, I keep forgetting to cut the grass. If that's it, right? Then sometimes I'll put the lawnmower in an obvious place, or I keep forgetting to check the oil, in my vehicle. So you set the oil on the vehicle or something there to remind you. So put the pieces in your path to trigger you and spur you and be like, well, hey, there it is. And so while I'm here, I can go ahead and do that. And we've got wonderful mobile devices today that help out with all that. I mean, my goodness, even the excuses for being a sluggard are so slim today, yet us overachievers, we still find a way to be slothful. And to be a little slow on things. So I'm going to wrap that topic up. I mean, we all know, here's the funny thing. It's one of those topics we could talk it to death. But the fact of the matter is that I think it's a common human struggle. I think like everybody struggles with, just wanting to back off a little bit. We had that one from the other day. Remember the shred and snooze? If you don't, you should go back and check out that video. It's so easy to hit the snooze button. Like for real, it's so easy to hit the snooze button in life. It's so easy for us to be active without being productive. That is a big one. We're just so busy, going through the motions, doing the thing. But when you stop and ask yourself the question, are you being productive? It's a completely different question. I wanted to hit some other verses in here because it's such a power-packed little passage. Listen, again, like I've always said, if you have a choice between watching this or actually read what is here. It's in the book, okay? Like seriously, read it. And as I've often said, you can read through Proverbs and you may only understand one or two verses, and that is honestly completely fine. Boom, highlight that one verse that spoke to you, make that your verse of the day. More on that later, but two things I want to compare. In verse 3, the Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Think about that. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the cravings of the wicked. Then verse 24, what the wicked dread will overtake them. What the righteous desire will be granted. And just think of that comparison and contrast between the wicked and the righteous, okay? And sometimes I think about that. It's like native to the human condition is that when we do wrong, we expect bad to happen. Now, so it doesn't always happen immediately. And I know that there's another place, I think it's in Ecclesiastes, when Solomon says, sorry, I got a notification that came in. When Solomon says, because sentence against the matter is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of men are fully set within them to do evil. I mean, it would be kind of simple, right? Because we look at these verses and the Psalms, David, and all that is going to explore the whole thing of, yes, sometimes the wicked, their punishment is delayed, right? Righteousness doesn't always pay off like the same moment that you plant the seed. And there's the perfect analogy. Think about planting of a seed, right? The planting of the seed, the harvest comes a whole lot later and a whole lot more bountiful. But it's the faith in between that carries us through. So there's some other verses in here I just want to point out to you. Go back and read them. I want you to compare verse 4 to verse 21. Verse 4 to verse 21. That is going to be your assignment because we're close to 10 minutes here. I want to thank you for giving me your time today. So much that can be said in Proverbs, but listen, here's the thing. Go for it. Find your own verse in Proverbs. Put it in the comments. Share this with someone else, and you can say, no, I wasn't thinking of you when the video clip played, but Brother Daniel said I had to share it with 3 people, so you were just one of my 3. There you go. There's your out to share the video. But go into Proverbs chapter 10. I promise you, it's a gold mine right there. Find your own favorite verse. Put it on your Facebook page. Take that initiative and put it out there and say, just learning from King Solomon. Wonderful principle. You don't have to sit down and do a whole video series like I'm doing, but I mean, every day. What if for 30 days? Think about this, okay? What if for 30 days you picked one verse out of that chapter for Proverbs, put it on your social media page, or introduced it into a conversation? Like I was saying about how our attitudes affect not only us, but the people around us. Would that be, here's my question to you, would that be of any benefit to you? Would it be of any benefit to the people around you? And who do you think would benefit more, yourself or the people around you? So start right now, okay? Today, right now, in the comments below, if you've gotten this far, okay, you're one of my true diehard man-of-many-tears. Thank you so much. Go down there in the comments, and I want you to pick out a new verse. You know what? I'm not even going to make it that difficult. We'll save that challenge for the future. Just your favorite verse from Proverbs. It could be any verse from Proverbs. You say, well, I haven't even read all the verses. Pick one out of this series. I don't care. But start today with the habit of promoting within your own life the words of wisdom. Do it in my comments section. It's safe. Everybody here is cool with it. And then branch out and do it on your own. Okay, so start there. All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying a wonderful Sunday. If you're watching this on a different day, get busy, man. Kick off the sluggard heels, and yeah, that's a new thing. And go do it. All right, man. Praying for you guys today, and I mean that. I pray over these Man of Mid sessions, and for you who are listening and enjoying these. And I hope that it's meaningful to you. I'm so excited right now, and I hope it's exciting to you to think about the fact that this wonderful wisdom has been set before us. So thank God for it, and do something with it. Lord bless you.